That's not English, Brian. It's German.
Oh, fair.
So what I told you is true, from a certain point of view.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And this evening, as a certain point of view, is live on a Monday night. It is our first show in the every other week part of our season. And it feels weird. It feels very weird. It feels like the last show was so long ago because we're not used to doing it every other week. But it's left us with a lot of talk about, which is a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool topics to discuss tonight. One of them was thrown in the show about 3 hours ago, or maybe longer, which is definitely going to create a lot of hot topic online if it hasn't already. And then, of course, as you see by the thumbnail, we're going to get into some Hollywood likeness, AI usage by directors, creators, studios, which is obviously a big part of what happened last year with the strikes and what went on in Hollywood with the actors and everything. So. And we have a new segment actually that is going to be joining the show this evening as well, which I'm very, very excited about. And I cannot wait to see. So hope everyone's doing great out there. Thank you so much for joining us again. Let's see how the crew's doing before we get into everything tonight. I'm going to just spitball here. I'm going to go to Brian first because he's not paying attention.
Whoa.
I heard every single word you just said. It's because my sister just texted me saying San Diego's completely basically underwater. Just literally like,
yeah, there's videos of it online.
yeah, 2012.
Mhm.
Was that the movie where New York all flooded? Yeah.
No, that's The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay, that one. See, I know movies. But yeah, no, I was just like, oh my god, like. But then, Jake, let's be honest, that'll be us in probably like 2 weeks.
I mean, it might be my backyard by tomorrow, so I don't know.
Yeah, well. Hopefully it'll bring all the plants back to life and stuff.
No,
I'm doing fine.
It's killing the plants, actually.
Fair.
I mean, yeah, if they're underwater, that's no good.
Too much water for some plants is no bueno.
Maybe they'll be, I don't know, whatever. I'm fine. Chilling. This is like the first time I think I've ever done the show without a hat. I just realized that because it's over there. Feel kind of naked and cold because I shaved. So yeah, I'm fine though.
Had to show off that fresh cut.
Yeah, I would much rather.
Are you still cutting your own hair?
So did you see how big my hair was last time?
It's very big.
I mean, you had a hat on, but sure, yeah.
It was the biggest I've ever let it grow out, to the point where like when I was taking showers, it would take like an hour for my hair to dry. Like that's never been like that. And it just got to a point where I was just like,
I know. I'm like,
I know.
You're like, I didn't want to sit an hour in the haircut chair, and I was like, I think the last time I got my hair done, I was there for 5 hours.
So, Jake, I don't think I've done this since like before your wedding. I've been pretty regularly going, but I was just like, I am not sitting in a chair. I hate getting my hair cut. I hate the awkward conversation of like the barber.
It's not awkward if you don't make it awkward.
Yeah, but you go to your aunt, so it's like your family. No,
I mean, I'm on my phone or on reading a book the whole time.
How
honestly,
though? Because they put the thing over you.
Women are different. Women are different. And funny
we're
enough,
used to being in the chair for a while.
Funny enough, I had a conversation about AI and technology with my barber on Saturday.
Ooh.
Segue. But yeah, no, I just don't. I was not about to sit in a chair for like an hour.
Where do you go?
Sports Clips.
You know you can make appointments, right?
Yeah, no, I know. That's where I've been going for the last.
Making sure. Have you ever gotten the hot towel?
Yeah, they make you do it on the first one.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Not worth an extra like $15 though, but
definitely worth the extra $15.
Wow. But yeah, no, I was just not gonna sit in the chair for an hour, so I was just like, all right, just and then yeah, I'll let it grow out a little bit and then get it done. But no, I am not. This is like I said, first time I've done it on my own since at least before your wedding.
That was quite a long time ago, Brian.
I know. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, Molly, how about you? How was your weekend? How was your I mean, we know what your Monday was like. How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good. What did we do this weekend? Happy hour. It's Friday. Fun.
That's fun.
I saw you were at some rock concert or something.
Yeah.
You know, nice.
So
How do you not get sick of seeing that band? Like, I feel like every other week.
what band?
Didn't you go see Motion City Soundtrack again?
No.
Oh.
We went to see Story of the Year because Adam is the bass player. We know him, and he was like, "Hey, we're in Atlanta. Do you want to come to the show?" And we were like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah.
So he invited us, and we went. It was great.
You guys were
That's
like
awesome.
above, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, like we had all access passes, but we just kind of like went to the top where it wasn't super crowded. Like we didn't have special seats or anything, but we did get to hang out a little bit afterwards backstage and go to their fancy bus.
Fun.
I used the bathroom on their tour bus, and I, for the life of me, could not figure out how to shut the door. I was like pushing
put
on
your leg
it.
out.
I was pushing on it, and I was like, and I stood there for like a solid minute trying to figure out how to shut the door. And he was like, "There's a button." I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
it's like a Star Wars door. You hit a button and it goes."
Oh, it goes whoosh. Ooh,
I was
so
like, "Oh my
fancy.
gosh!"
I would have eventually just been like, close.
Please close.
Yeah.
Clap twice.
Oh, what's the opposite of open sesame? Something just like screaming at it.
Closed is
Close.
So yeah, that was fun. And then we had a pretty chill Sunday, just catching up on some stuff. And today was insane.
It allowed you to prepare for the hectic chaos that is this week.
I
Weren't we
started to
just-
think like maybe we aren't getting a Bad Batch trailer anytime soon, and then boom, it dropped.
Weren't you just saying like a little while ago? It's like, yeah, we're just enjoying the nothing of Star Wars going on, and then it was just like, "Whoa, welcome back, bitch! We're right in this."
No,
Like,
it was. I think it was the day before our last show. She was saying, "Oh, it's such like a downer," and then or before the Mandalorian Grogu news. The next day, it was
Yeah.
like, boom, boom, Ahsoka
Yeah.
hit, Mandalorian Grogu, and now Bad Batch.
Yeah,
It's like
it's been great though, and like I love that they told us the day, like they told us when it was starting. They gave us a full season schedule of like when all the episodes are coming out, the
was nice.
title names and everything. So we are nice and prepared now, which is great.
Everybody's dropping everything on my birthday weekend. I love it.
Woo.
Oh, is that when it starts?
Avatar.
It's
Huh?
gonna end on my birthday.
Yeah, and it
So it
starts
starts
the
on-
day before my birthday, and then Avatar's on my birthday. And there was
We'll get
something else
another-
that comes out.
Another Avatar trailer tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, do we
Like
really?
the
Yeah, it
official
drops
one, like the
tomorrow.
big one, yeah. Which I won't be watching, so you guys can let me know how it is.
Yes, I love when that happens because then that gives me an excuse to like carve out like at least 5 minutes of not doing anything in my classroom. You guys, look, the new trailer came out. Shut up, let's watch it. Quiet.
And Miss Jill, how was your weekend? How was your Monday?
It was good. Did some rookies and rule books filming over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxed yesterday. Well, I worked out for like an hour and a half and then I relaxed. But yeah, chill. Not too bad. Monday's good. It's raining. Slow day at work. But it's all good. All good. Traveling this week, so that'll be
Where are you
fun.
going now?
I'm gonna go see my dad.
Ah,
But it's supposed to rain the day we fly out, so hopefully nothing gets delayed or canceled. Woo.
you should be okay, right? There's not like a storm warning or anything, right?
No, it just rained. Like we're flying into North Carolina, and then we go from North Carolina to Florida.
My parents just flew to Tampa this morning, so
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna be like Panhandle, Florida.
they're there for my dad's work thing, and my mom was like, "Cool, free vacation." So
Pretty much.
Good
Yeah.
for
We're gonna
her.
fly right past me, and I'll be like,
Just come down for the weekend, Molly. It's fine. Not a far drive.
How far is that drive for you, Molly?
It's only 4 hours from where my dad is. To
Where?
I love how
From you to Florida, how far is the drive?
where in Florida?
Destin.
Sure.
Maybe like 6 hours.
Oh my God, that's literally.
My dad did it in
part of
4,
the state
Molly.
for
You
us.
could do it in 4.
Okay, maybe 5. I don't know exactly where Destin is, but if it's in
5
the
hours is
Panhandle,
literally San Luis Obispo from where I'm sitting right now.
6
Molly, come
hours.
down.
Crazy.
That's like
Come down this weekend. I'll be there. Come down.
yeah, that's about
Crazy.
normal. It's about you could get to LA if Jake's driving.
100% you
where we
could.
are.
I've broken records on the way to LA. People just don't know it. Yeah, it was a very eventful weekend for me just quickly, but nothing else matters because I just wanted to mention real quick. It's a personal note, but Bo laughed for the very first time this weekend.
Oh.
at what?
Wait, come on, wait.
Yeah.
Let's guess. Let's guess.
His own
Farts.
reflection.
That's damn it, Molly. That was mine. I will say peekaboo. Jill.
I said his own reflection.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
None. We were at one of our good friends' house on Friday. Gabby was actually over there all day, and she sent me a video. The 2-year-old was obsessed with him and basically scaring him, and he was getting startled. And then
Aw.
he started to like smile, and then eventually it became a laugh. So
Someone's gonna like spooky movies.
he likes the jump scare.
Oh,
Yes.
the
October
yeah,
baby. Here we
yeah,
go.
the,
Baby.
Oh God, that's
and
right.
then my buddy, because we worked together, Justin and I, and after work we went over there for dinner, and Justin got a cool video of Maverick across the table like laughing, and then Bo laughing back at him. So
Yeah.
pretty cool little milestone. So
Cutie patootie.
I can hear him screaming his absolute brains out in the house right now, though. So
no.
that's no bueno.
Go
Thanks,
back
Trying
to
to
that
laugh
info.
again. He's
Thanks, Gabby. We love
Yeah,
you.
seriously. All right. Well, before we get into everything tonight, I did want to mention, because she is here in the chat, I wanted to bring up just quickly for our patrons. It's not close, but I'll tell everyone right now, Jane and I have put together quite a bar trivia for everybody in March. I'm letting you all know right now. She's helping me write questions, and we are planning on torturing you guys with which movies you're watching. So I just want you guys to be prepared on what's coming. Next month, February bar trivia will be my edition, my birthday edition, because it is my birthday.
I rolled my eyes so hard when I saw that. I went, "Oh wait, it's February."
And but March trivia, I'm very much looking forward to, and I can't wait. Just wanted to tease everybody real quick before we got the show going. So, all right. Well, before we get into Bad Batch, which I'm super excited to talk about, we're actually going to drop a little bit of a new segment here on the show. We don't have a title for it. We don't have a title card.
Title working in progress.
It's all TBD at the moment, but we do have the segment ready, and it is sort of a news segment from Miss Jill, who is going to take over and run over some of the most recent news in the universe.
Woo. Yeah, because I figure that since that's fine. Hello. I figure since like now that we're taking like, you know, like we're doing bi-weekly shows, I was like, we're gonna be missing a lot of stuff and we're gonna be focusing on some things. So I was like, I'm just gonna go through and list all the things I think are fun and interesting and things you should know. And I'm gonna try and do it in 5 minutes or less. So I'm gonna try and go through this as quick as possible. So unless you lived under a rock the last couple weeks, Lucasfilm has announced a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Hooray. It will be directed by Dave Filoni. No, this is not taking the place of the announced Rey Skywalker film. So stop saying that it is, because it is not. That one is still happening. Thank the Lord. Caitlin Dever from Booksmart and Isabella Merced from Madam Web have been cast as Abby and is it Dina, Molly? Or Dinah?
I think it's Dina.
I'm thinking it's Dina for Last of Us Season 2. Hooray. Abby is a member of the Fireflies and is one of the main playable protagonists in the Last of Us 2 video game. And Dina is Abby's partner and assists her in her quests through that game as well. So we're going to have a lot of ladies in Season 2, and I'm very, very excited.
No spoilers, everybody. I'll chop you up.
No spoilers, because Jake has no idea what happens in Season 2. That's why
unfortunately, I do now, but, you know.
Well, there was nothing spoilery in there. It just describes who the character
No, not you. No, I'm talking about what happened before.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That is still to this day the scariest I've ever been in my life, probably.
You're like, oh
when he found out.
Another unless you live under a rock story, Bethesda has announced Indiana Jones and the Great Circle video game. Very exciting. This will be an original adventure set in 1937, which will take place between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
Oh, I didn't
Hell
know that
yeah.
part.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Fun fact. Troy Baker will be playing Indiana Jones. If you don't know who Troy Baker is, yes, you do, because he voices everything under the sun when it comes to video games. It will launch on Xbox Series X, and PC later this year, allegedly.
Correct.
Godzilla.
Isn't he Joel?
Yes.
Yes, he is Joel. Yes.
Real quick, Andy is right. Favreau is directing the Grogu
why
movie.
did it say Dave Filoni was directing?
Because everyone thinks it's him.
Favreau, Filoni,
Well-
same person. So.
What the article I read said Dave Filoni, so excuse me.
He's like co-producing it.
He's producing it, and so is Kathleen Kennedy. I know that. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire has moved their release date up to March 29th of this year. Jake and Sean are very excited about that.
Yes.
In case you did not know, How to Train Your Dragon is going to be a live-action film, and they have announced some of the live-action actors who will be training the characters. First of all, Dean DeBloy, who was the writer and director of the original animated film, is coming back to direct and write the screenplay for this movie, which gives me high hopes that this will actually be a good adaptation. Gerard Butler, the voice of Stoic, is coming back to play Stoic in the live action. Mason Thames from Black Phone, more of an unknown actor, is going to play Hiccup. Nico Parker from The Last of Us, she was Joel's daughter at the beginning of the series, is playing Astrid. And Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz will be Gobber, which
Yes.
such good.
I
That is
can't
a
wait to see him
perfect
lose
cast.
his leg or have no leg.
I love how Jake poops on it and then just like great cat. I love it.
It's great casting, but you don't
casting
need to do this
is-
movie.
So good. It's such good casting. But the fact that the original director is coming back gives me
I agree.
hopes for it.
I agree.
So, and in case you heard screaming around the world, it was probably the screams of very sad gays, because Our Flag Means Death has been canceled by HBO. Womp, womp, womp.
Ooh.
Although, because of that, I have not found any articles on this, but I did see some stuff on TikTok. Rumor has it, because of that cancellation, David Zaslav is now being investigated for insider trading. That is a rumor. Don't come at me if that
what?
is don't come at me if that's false. That's just what I've seen around the social media space. I have not seen any articles about that, but I thought I would report it because if he is found guilty of that, get him out. He should be out anyway because he's trash.
Facts.
Huzzah.
Facts.
Until Dawn, the very spooky video game that we all love, has been announced that they are making it into a movie. David Sandberg, the director of Shazam, and Gary Dauberman, the screenwriter of It, Annabelle, and The Nun, will be heading the Until Dawn film. I am kind of hoping they bring back the original cast because they have like Rami Malek, who is great, and they have Hayden Panettiere, and they're all actors. So just bring them all back to do this film.
I
And
would
I
love
think it's-
that. But they are supposed to be like kind of young, so I'm like, I don't know if they could get away with that now.
Yeah, that's true.
Phil, did
I
you-
do hope-
Sorry, what movies did you mention for David S. Sandberg? That you directed?
For David, I just said Shazam.
So if anybody doesn't
darn it.
know,
I thought it was the Shazam. From
if
the
anybody
90s.
doesn't know, he directed the second Annabelle and a movie called Lights Out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Four
The,
movies.
the Lights Out movie that was based off the short.
He did the short too.
Oh yeah.
And the screenwriter did It, Annabelle, and
Yeah,
The
so they have a lot of horror background,
Yes.
so that's a plus.
So that's good. I am hoping it's going to have a sort of Clue-esque thing where it's going to be different endings depending on what theater you see it in, because that was the beauty of Until Dawn. You could kill everybody or everyone could live. So
Wow.
hopefully that's the case for this movie too. Disney Channel fans, the Russo family is back in a new Wizards of Waverly Place sequel series.
I love this so much.
David Henry will return as a cast regular, and Selena Gomez will appear in the pilot. The description they have for the show is the pilot picks up after a mysterious incident at WizTech, where an adult Jason Russo, played by Henry, has left his wizard powers behind, opting for a normal human life with his wife and 2 sons. But he gets a surprise when a powerful young wizard in need of training shows up at his door, and Justin must embrace his past to ensure the future of the wizard world.
Love it.
Fun
Love
stuff. Little darker note, Alec Baldwin has been indicted in the Rust shooting that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. I believe this is his second indictment for that. I didn't really look deeper into it, but it's a really sad story, and who knows if he's actually ever going to be charged with anything for that. From zero to political, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has dropped the Republican presidential race. Convicted sexual assaulter and rapist Donald Trump, who is currently in another defamation trial, is still the front runner for the Republican Party. Yay, America.
Only in America.
From political news across the pond, King Charles and Princess Kate are currently both hospitalized for surgeries that they needed to have. Charles for an enlarged prostate and Kate for abdominal surgery. So I am very much looking at my bingo square to see if I get to knock off someone in the royal family dies this year.
I was
Will
so
they make
close.
it?
Will they make it? Let's find out. Walking Dead fans, Michonne and Rick are back. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live trailer did drop. It's good to see them back. I am kind of sad that I stopped watching The Walking Dead when they killed Glenn. Spoiler alert. But I might come back to this because Michonne and Rick are some of the best characters in the series. The more horror news for my spooky people. The next Fear Street movie will be based on R.L. Stein's The Prom Queen.
I love this so much.
The synopsis of the book is: as the Shadyside High School prom queen candidates are brutally murdered one by one, leaving only one standing, everyone speculates as to whether she will be the killer's next target.
Love it.
Those Fear Street movies were great. Excited to see more of that coming out.
Those movies were so much fun.
So good.
That's just scary.
In regards to award season, it is currently award season. For the first time ever, Disney has been left out of the Annie Award nominations. Annie Awards are for animation, and they were left out completely from any Annie Awards, including Best Animated Film, which those nominees are Nimona, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Suzumi, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and The Boy in the Heron. I'm personally voting for Nimona because that movie was glorious.
Same. Honestly, it's been a long time coming for Disney to step out of the limelight and let some of these other
what would they have even
studios
submitted?
shine.
Wish, their 100th anniversary movie that came out. That was I haven't even seen it, which was apparently a total bomb.
Yeah.
It didn't look great.
And they had Elemental too, technically.
Oh, Elemental was so good.
I haven't watched it, but it did really well.
I did really like Elemental, so that's kind of a bummer. And then last but not least, if you guys are on TikTok and you are all into social media gossip and entertainment gossip, then you have heard that Ariana Grande has dropped her latest single titled Yes and it's getting a lot of backlash, basically saying, girl, why are you not sorry about the fact that you're a homewrecker who stole a husband from this wife who just had their first child? I think one of the lyrics from the song is like, why do you care whose D I ride? And it's like, girl, because you're a homewrecker. Get over yourself.
Oh, dang. I missed this on Gay News.
Yeah, gaynews.com. But this has been insert title here. Hooray.
Good job, Jill. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you, throughout the next 2 weeks, if you have any news articles and stuff you would like me to quickly whatever upon.
You should do like a name like last week's news right now.
In as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's fun. That's a fun segment. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people are not going to know about that we can just quickly bring up like that. So, I just want to quickly say that the How to Train Your Dragon stuff, because that's the one that got the most reaction from me. Just quickly, because we're each going to kind of go around and just quickly mention maybe one thing that Jill had said. But the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, I've said this on record, it's my all-time favorite animated franchise. Hands down.
It's one of the best animated franchises.
One of the only times I've ever seen Jake cry in a movie theater.
I think it's everything that it includes is just incredible to me. And it's not that I don't want a live action movie. I just think that it's way too soon. I understand because Dean DeBlois is doing it, and he's the director of the original animated movies, but I'm just a little nervous. That's all.
I totally understand.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Anybody else have anything about Jill's news that you'd like to say?
There's something that it was like I've lost it. It was like one of the last things you said.
Ariana Grande.
No.
The British royalty in the hospital.
No.
Disney awards.
Was it Disney? No.
Fear Street. Walking Dead.
Oh, well, I don't think that's what it was, but I think
I deleted it what I was reading, so I don't remember what it was.
That's
so
fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm very curious if you can watch the new Walking Dead show without having watched the other ones.
Oh.
I mean, Rick and
Probably.
Michonne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd be able to. They're not going to expect people to watch 11 seasons of television to watch that
You'd
show.
probably need to watch the last season just to see what happens to Rick.
Or go to YouTube and watch highlights, Rick and Michonne.
He was in the last one. I mean, I'm sure they'll do a recap at the beginning.
No, he hasn't been in it since like season.
I was going to say, he's like 8.
Listen, I haven't watched, like I said, I haven't watched the Walking Dead.
I think it was like season 9, I think might have been his last season.
Yeah, it was like
and then
8 or
Michonne
9.
was the season after, I believe. Because they did 11 for sure, all without them, and they might have done part of 10, if not all of 10, without them. Yeah, I don't know. I stopped watching a while ago just because it became so kind of run of the mill.
Yeah, but you like
I really enjoyed Fear the Walking Dead a lot. Fear the Walking Dead.
I never got
was
into
very
that
good.
one.
I enjoyed that one a lot. That one got better as it went along, whereas it was kind of the opposite with The Walking Dead. So yeah. All right. Well, any other thoughts, guys?
I'm excited to see Grogu on the big screen. I want to see them, a little man on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
would totally be
God.
there.
They're for sure going to have a little one walk down the red carpet for
It's
sure.
probably going to be the one that we saw at Celebration.
Yeah.
Or they'll have the Disney one.
I mean, he's
where
probably going to
it's
have a
just
new outfit for that
Din
movie,
with
so you never know.
Grogu and his little.
Yeah, I think Pedro should be the one carrying him.
Yeah.
Oh,
down
yeah.
the red
Yeah.
carpet. That can be his accessory for the night.
Well, perfect segue, Molly. Thank you for the Star Wars segue here. Let's get into the Bad Batch. We got our first look at season 3. We've been talking about it, kind of wondering where it's been, and Lucasfilm just decided, you know what? Let's just drop it out of nowhere. Not just the trailer, but all the information we talked about earlier, episodes, names, release dates, all of it. I will let Molly go first. She said she had thoughts. This will obviously include spoilers for the trailer, so in case you didn't watch it or don't want to, there is specifically one major thing that happens in the trailer that we will be talking about. So Molly, go ahead. What were your thoughts on the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer?
Well, first of all, Jennifer Corbett has been stirring the pot, quite literally. She posted like a week ago a GIF of someone stirring a pot. Like, she has been tweeting little like hints since the new year about Bad Batch stuff, and so Bad Batch Twitter has just been all riled up,
Bad Batch Twitter.
waiting for something to drop. So we kind of thought that maybe this would happen soon. But when it did drop, I was like, yes, finally. And I like started retweeting it, and I was telling Alex and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, did you watch the trailer? And I was like, it was the one that they showed at Celebration, right? And he was like, no. So he was like, if you want to do a reaction, we got to do it now, like before you watch it. So we filmed a reaction because of Asajj Ventress being there. And I was like, what? And I immediately like got in our chat to tell Brian to watch it because
You gave me a panic attack at work.
I'm sorry.
Like, not even kidding. Like, I was sitting there, like, grading my papers, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden on my watch, it goes, Brian, get on Twitter right now. Or, no, don't go on Twitter right now.
Don't go on Twitter.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, God, what did I do? And then,
It's all your fault.
yeah. And then I think you said, like, Bad Batch trailer.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
I didn't want it because people were like talking about it all over
I
Twitter,
wouldn't have
so.
seen it until
No, and what's funny is when you said Brian watched it, my first thought was, oh, Thrawn's in it.
That's
That's
what I
what I
thought.
thought,
My
too.
brain did not go to
Also,
Thrawn
you know what's funny? I
at all.
go, in my head, I was like, Molly goes, Brian, watch the trailer, but don't go on Twitter. I was like, well, what about me? Like, why can't I?
Aw.
My
I'm sure everyone was gonna be excited for it, but because Asajj was there, I knew Brian.
No,
would
I
be.
get it once I saw it. Thrawn was the first thing I was like, wait, well, how are they going to
So
do
did I.
Thrawn? Like,
Yeah,
what,
me too.
like, how would they do Thrawn? And so I was wondering, Asajj never crossed my mind because
No.
of Dark Disciple. Like, it never,
Yeah.
like, I thought she was just nail in the coffin, no way of using her other than far back. So it never would have crossed my mind.
And that was the other big thing that just stirred everyone's pots today was the absolute rabid book fans saying, "What does this mean for Dark Disciple? Is this retconning it? Is the book not canon anymore?" And like within minutes of posting the trailer, they put out an article, and in the article, Brad Rao, I think his name is one of the showrunners, was like, "We're going to keep this in line, loyal to any other storytelling, including Dark Disciple." So like they just flat out put it out there.
Yeah.
It's not going to retcon it, hopefully, in any way. So
Well,
that
if
was
Maul can come
good.
back, why can't Asajj come back? Like,
right. So now everybody is just like confused. Like, well, how is she there? Is she a clone? Is she brought back from the dead? Is this a flashback? So we don't really.
the Night Sisters can literally bring people back from the dead.
Let's keep in mind where she comes from.
Yeah.
Like, not to mention the last thing we saw in Ahsoka was Dathomir. Sorry, spoiler alert. I just realized after I was saying it.
That's fine. Like,
it's been out for a while.
I have not read Dark Disciple, but I'm going to before the show comes out. But apparently she gets buried in like a magic lake or something.
Molly, it's probably going to become one of your favorite stories. Like, no joke.
I haven't finished it, but I have read Dark Disciple.
Molly Damon. It is arguably the best top 3.
It's
Star Wars
very,
books.
very, very, very
we'll
good.
See.
It is very good.
We'll
our Apocalypse friend Gio, who's never read any of the books, was like, "This one looks pretty interesting," because of Quinlan Voss of all people, and
Quinlan's a cool character.
I know, but like, if you're gonna read a book for the first time, that's not the character you think of. That's gonna draw you in. And when he came back, he was like, "Holy shit! Are all the Star Wars books like this?" And I'm like, "No, this was that good."
Yeah. So that book came out in 2015, so it's been out for a while too.
I would probably put that as my number 2 favorite Star Wars book under Lost Stars.
Which is why I'm going to read it. But I already know a bunch of spoilers about it because it's been out for so long. So
Star Wars Book Club. Oh wait, you do that already. Never mind.
Wait, that's already a thing.
Yeah. The trailer itself, I mean, look, the Asajj stuff looked great. And I watched your guys' breakdown of it earlier. I love the callback to the original design they had for her in the season that they were going to do and ended up not doing. The little lightsabers look great. The hair looks great. But the trailer itself is top notch. I mean, there's so much stuff. It's funny, when you get these first trailers, a lot of the time you're kind of just like trying to pick as much as you can to see what kind of information you can get. There's a lot of information in this trailer. Like, it's filled with a lot of stuff. And granted, it comes out in a month, so that makes sense. But and now obviously having Star Wars Explained in your back pocket to watch and listen to pick apart is very nice to have. But the Omega stuff looks super interesting. The Crosshair looks super interesting. Tantis is still the number one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing in the season on everything going on there. And obviously how it all wraps up, because it's clearly being advertised as the final season. Like, we now know it's the last time we're getting these characters in this story, or not the characters, but the story. And so how does it wrap up this arc that not just these characters are going on, but everything that kind of came before it as well?
Yeah.
It feels like that has a lot to do, but how it's been going, I have no doubt that they're going to do it. So
yeah. I'm so glad too that they didn't shorten the season, because originally they said it was going to be 16 episodes. Says it's 15, but I have a feeling the last episode 15,
is like an hour.
Is just going to be like a mega episode, so basically 2. So I'm glad that they didn't shorten it, and that no other shows are on at the same time as it, because it needs its own moment of glory. I'm gonna have to rewatch season 2.
I will too. I'm just hoping that now because Asajj is back, that means that Tech can come back too.
I don't think our
my
boy's
hope.
coming back.
He's
You
in
better.
it.
he is gone.
No, he's
No,
not.
no, he's
Molly,
not.
you
I
and
think-
I.
There's an episode called Resurrection, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's the one with Asajj in it." I'm like, maybe,
Look,
but
I'm
maybe
not.
it's
I
also
won't be
Tech's
mad.
episode.
I won't be mad if Tech comes back. All I'm saying is, at some point, Star Wars is going to have to stop resurrecting dead people.
I
Well-
won't be mad if he doesn't come back, but I'm holding out hope.
Well, Brian
Me too.
Ward put out a picture that he landed on a bunch of pillow beds,
Yeah,
or
which
mattresses.
is canon.
It's very soft.
Yeah.
Very soft landing.
Although that man is single-handedly like, I go like, oh, that's the greatest image ever, and then he like throws trauma image of like just Tech falling. It says
Yeah.
like stuff. Jake, tell Sideshow to lower their prices because I just looked for an Asajj Ventures thing.
I don't like their Asajj Ventress one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
No,
But it is
maybe I'm just not a fan of the way they designed her. Because it's like if I'm not mistaken, the Sideshow one isn't even in any kind of outfit we've ever seen her in.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
I guess I like the authenticity of like what they are actually wearing and the character that we see. Then that's just me.
If I could get one, I'd get
The Gentle Giant ones are great.
yes, the little bust that Molly got me of Thrawn.
Yeah.
I would want that of her.
Who's the company that has the one that's out now of Ahsoka and Maul in their duel? That one's dope.
I think Sideshow has 2 collectibles that you can put
Oh.
together.
No, it's one it's like one big piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit,
of
man, I
Maul
might
and
be spending some money.
Ahsoka dueling.
I
It
don't
looks
think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I don't
Let me
think I've
see
seen
if
that
I can
either.
find it.
You don't need to, Jake.
I'm looking. At
I will. I know. I'm trying to save money for golf clubs. Now I'm gonna buy a freaking toy.
No.
I got a problem.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But yeah, this show looks great.
It's Sideshow.
They're having a 3-episode premiere on
I
February.
love that so much.
It's
An
a
hour and a
lot.
half of Bad
21st.
Batch. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
a lot. You know, oh god, that first episode is going to be so rough. 'Cause it's
I don't know. I don't know if the first episode will be rough because
It's literally going to be them dealing with Tech being dead.
not necessarily. No,
There's
They
probably
just
going to be a
lost
little
Omega.
a bit of a time jump, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
think-
struggling.
I think we're gonna see them kind of like.
I forgot we lost her.
I think we're gonna see them in the midst of something, and then we'll kind of get into everything that's just from. And I could be wrong, but you can tell in animation when they kind of like up age people, and Omega looks much older
Yeah.
in the trailer. So there's definitely some type of time jump that's happened, whether
She's got
it's
longer hair. It's a
whether
different
it's like
character
2
model.
months or whatever. There's definitely some type of time jump. Oh God, Jill. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
the Sideshow. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Ooh.
That's so sick.
Look at his legs.
It's so sick.
It's so dope.
Ahsoka won that fight too. Maul sucks.
I want it. I want that so bad. It's only like $600, you know.
It's so funny to me, like seeing like that and thinking how she like beat him, and then in Ahsoka, she died in like a minute and a half.
She's much older now.
I know.
Well, and also because
We all
during
get
when
old.
when she was fighting Maul, it was also when she was like training for a war, and then in Ahsoka, it was like
Yeah, it'd been a while.
a couple years later.
Although
Plus,
that's-
Maul is just really good at losing fights.
unfortunately, yeah.
That too.
You love to see it.
Mhm.
That's why they keep bringing him back.
Yeah. Jill, Brian, any final thoughts on Bad Batch or thoughts?
Like I said, if they bring back Tech, then I'm a happy camper.
What happens if they don't? Are you not going to be happy?
No, I'll just be sad.
Yeah.
But but I will
Same.
still enjoy the show. I'm not going to base my entire enjoyment of the show if Tech returns or not.
Got it.
But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he will.
I do feel like because if it is true that Tech is truly gone, they're like to fans, they're like, but look over here, Asajj is back, and we're like, oh,
Oh, that's me.
It's like
I,
holding a shiny thing. Like,
Yeah,
look over
we're like-
here.
okay.
I'm gonna completely forget that I'm watching Bad Batch.
Okay, so question with Asajj. do we think she's majorly involved, or is she just appearing for some capacity?
I don't think she's gonna have a major
She'll be there
part.
for like 2 or 3 at most.
Yeah, maybe like a mini arc.
Like a little run-in or something? Or maybe she's
Yeah.
sent. I mean, we can dissect the dialogue all we want, but maybe she's sent after someone, or
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a flashback of them just running into her or something.
I saw that online, that theory online, because of the
really?
whole Dark Disciple thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when book Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, when it just was like rabble, 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 and I'm just like, chill the hell out.
People got so mad so quickly.
And I get it because the book is fantastic, but like it was so funny because you already know that, like, what was it, Star Wars, whoever had like the draft saved and ready for like, all right, when they start rabble, rabble, rabble and hit go, and it was just like,
well, they posted it basically alongside the trailer. They knew it was coming. They knew exactly what was happening.
It was, but yeah, no, I can't wait to see.
People are just like so excited to go after anything that a show does in tandem with a book, because I mean, we have kind of been burned before with the Ahsoka novel and some of the aftermath stuff and just other random bits and bobs, and so people are like very quick to assume that something's going to get retconned and to assume that it's Dave Filoni's fault, and he's like not that involved with Bad Batch. So
well, they're looking. I mean, those type of people are looking for something to hate, and it's the low hanging fruit. It's easy to go off. There's a book. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
it's like, just how about you wait until you see it? Like, you literally just saw a trailer 30 seconds ago. Chill the hell out. Like,
right. And if I'm just glad that we're gonna be able to see her in this version of her, like with the yellow lightsabers and like the longer hair and like
the yellow saber looks so cool.
Oh my god,
so cool.
Like, this is a gift to be able to take a beloved female Star Wars character and bring her back for like one last hurrah. Absolutely. Everyone should be excited.
Did you see everyone? Did you see the people going, this is how she makes it back into season 2 of Ahsoka? I'm like, okay, let's not go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm stoked. She's my second favorite character of all time. So I cannot wait. I get Thrawn, and then months later, Asajj.
Alex was joking that Marin is the one to come in and bring her back.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
He did it. I saw the video earlier.
Oh no.
Do not threaten me with a good time.
Oh man.
And I'm sure, like, there's a very good chance that Quinlan will be in it too if she's there.
Oh, I would imagine so. Yeah. Some of us are getting fed. Me being one of them.
The goth pies are getting fed.
The moody bad guys. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Okay. One last thing. How do we think this is going to end?
A happy
Sadly.
note. I think it's going to end on a happy note.
I think they're going to be dead.
No, I don't think they'll die.
I don't think they'll die, but I don't know how it's going to end.
I don't think our main characters will die. I think we'll see.
I'm sorry. Did you see Rogue One?
That's different.
I'm Jake, I'll never forget as long as I live when we were leaving to go to the movie theater, and I was like, what are the chances that like they kill everyone? It's like, no. And then we were sitting there like, oh my god, they're gonna kill everyone. And it's just,
that's what happens.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be interesting. We have a month until the 3-episode premiere, and then we have, I think Alex said earlier, 11 weeks of episodes, which is gonna be super fun.
Wow.
Super fun. A lot of Star Wars headed our way. I'm sure we'll talk about it more here in some capacity, but for now we're gonna move on to the main topic of tonight, kind of the bigger discussion we have here for the show. Hollywood and likeness. whether it be CGI, whether it be AI, making actors look young again, bringing actors back to life. Just everything that's kind of been going on over the last, I'll just put a round number on it and say 10 years. I know it's kind of gotten much better over the last few, but we obviously saw a younger version of Carrie Fisher in Rogue One. The situation with Paul Walker when he unfortunately passed, using his brother in certain scenes. The thumbnail had Christopher Reeve because of what happened in The Flash last year. That also included Nicolas Cage as Superman, Indiana Jones in the most recent Dial of Destiny movie, making Harrison Ford look younger, and a plethora of others. I mean, there's a lot of other situations where they're making characters look younger for certain situations. I mean, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, had every actor look young in that entire film. So
Jackson and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's definitely a very popular thing that is currently happening. I mentioned earlier, but the strikes that happened last year were a major, major part of this. Likeness was a very hot topic, and we're kind of going to go about this conversation a couple different ways. One, we're going to talk about the positive and negatives, whether it's good, whether it's bad, maybe situations that it can be used, situations where it can't be used or should not be used. And then kind of like talk about the morality of it all. Like, is it actually something that we should be focusing on, in today's world of movie making and television making? Of course, we want to hear from you guys as well. So make sure you leave a super chat or a Streamlabs on your questions or topics about this. And we'll dive into it as much as we possibly can. Does anybody want to go first? Does anybody have thoughts on this topic? Because it's kind of a hot topic right now, especially with the AI stuff that's currently being used everywhere, it seems like.
I got my first. I'll start.
Okay,
I
go
got
ahead.
my first. How should I say it? The first time I was full blown tricked by an AI image last night.
Like a
Literally.
deepfake.
Yeah. So there was it was like.
What deepfake?
So someone put out a thing. It was a couple of, it just came by on my screen a couple of times on TikTok, where someone made the Eiffel Tower was on
Burn.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw that too.
I 100% thought that it was happening. Like,
Can you imagine if that actually happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I was Googling it, checked Twitter, couldn't find anything. And then eventually, like, it was like something tipped it off. And I was like, that was the first time where I went like, holy shit, this is kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, you can literally make anything.
Yeah.
It's, I think I've mentioned it, but for my job, the majority of the time I'm using Photoshop and Illustrator for stuff that I do. And the things that you're able to do, I mean, there's a new function on Photoshop right now called AI generative that is absolutely incredible, but also terrifying on what you're capable of doing. It's very interesting, and that's such a different side of like the movie business, but it's also a very scary side because it's world structures or burning buildings, or
someone can make a deep fake of a world leader saying something dumb, and people are going to take it as a real thing or
100%.
something dangerous.
Do you know how dumb Americans are in believing stuff? I mean,
yeah. People have gotten so gullible now.
Yeah.
But it makes sense with how good the AI stuff and the deepfake stuff look now.
Yeah. That was the very first time where I went, oh shit. Like, if it wasn't for someone saying something, I would have believed it. And so like that was the first time that it actually kind of like shook me, because like before I was just kind of like whatever. You see like the TikToks where it's like they post a little and then it zooms out and then like someone's got 40,000 legs and it's just like, okay, like that's not that great. As far as relating to movies, my opinion on it is I don't really care how you use it. I don't care if you use it. Where my problem comes in is if it is someone that is no longer alive, there is absolutely no reason why you should not be getting the estate, the family's permission to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this to be like a poo-poo DC person. The fact that they did like all those cameos and didn't tell certain people, especially Christopher Reeve's family, is disgusting. That is absolutely vile.
Did Nicolas Cage know?
No.
I don't think so.
That
I
is
think
wild.
like
That's wild.
No,
to me,
none of the
too.
none of the cameos knew.
Especially because A, Nick Cage is alive, and like
Yeah.
B, why couldn't he just come and it would be a lot more fun if he just came in with the suit on, because like it was the Kevin Smith Superman, right? Isn't that what
Yeah.
it was with Nick Cage?
no, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Tim Burton. Yeah. The fact that they didn't talk to Christopher Reeve's family is
It's
Well, that's a big one because he's the original.
wild.
yeah.
That's
Like,
wild. to me.
he's like the OG of OGs when it comes to any type of superhero or graphic novel or any type of major character like
mean,
that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, Brian. I think you
Yeah.
have to. First of all, I don't really know how I feel about them bringing people back to life in general.
I agree.
I don't know if that sits well with me because it's so crazy that we're talking about this now because I mentioned it up top. I had this conversation with the woman who was cutting my
Okay,
hair.
see what Jane said is what I thought it was. That's that he knew, but it wasn't.
Oh, so that's not
Okay.
what he filmed though.
Yeah,
So
like
they
he's
technically still did it, but that's fair.
like he's. I
But
remember
still,
reading him say.
why not even use him?
I remember him
So-
saying he didn't know that there was like a giant spider or something. Like he was.
Well,
like,
yeah,
what
it's just
the-
a giant green screen, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had this conversation on Saturday, and the top or the point that I made is I don't want, and I made this reference because he's my favorite actor, but I don't want in 50 years to see a 38-year-old Harrison Ford on the screen. I don't want that.
Like a whole movie.
Yeah.
Not just because morally that's not. I don't think that's okay. Like I don't. Like I get it. He's one of the greatest actors of our time. Let's keep him alive. I get where like that's where people's head is at. It's not okay morally to keep someone alive past their passing. But second, you're taking away an opportunity for someone who has worked their entire life for possibly starring in that role
Yeah.
or being a part of that project.
Yeah.
And you're just going to give it to someone who has passed on because they were so legendary in their role and so popular in what they had did. Now, that's different from what I'm saying compared to the Christopher Reeve thing because of the cameo thing of that's Christopher Reeve's Superman in that universe, which I understand. But at the same time, if that person has moved on, you got to kind of move on with it. Like you kind of just have to, like, I understand what, especially what the Flash was trying to do, but I'm sorry that cameo didn't make that movie any better. It wouldn't have made a difference in the world if he showed up or didn't.
No.
So,
and for me, the Nick Cage cameo was so much more like wow than like the Christopher Reeve one, just because the Nick Cage one is like nerd lore, basically. But I'm on the same page. But when it comes to like deep fakes of people who have deceased, I do think there is some ways it can be done. Like especially when it's like a send off example, like the Paul Walker with his brother situation. Like it's a respectful send off of the character, the legacy, similar to Carrie Fisher and Leia in Rogue One, especially because Billie Lourd is still in Star Wars and she's still very much involved. And so if Billie Lourd said no, I don't think Disney would have done it. But because they gave their permission, it's all good. So when it comes to stuff like that, I'm fine with it. When it comes to making like a younger Mark Hamill, I'm fine with that too, because Mark Hamill is still here and he did help with the filming of it. And they combined him with that other young, Luke Skywalker to make Luke Skywalker.
Did they ask Tarkin, that family?
I have no
Peter
idea.
Cushing?
Yeah.
I I'm not sure if they talked to his family or not. I know Guy Henry was the person who they filmed like physically, but I'm not sure about.
That was
them
like the
talking to his
first one that
family.
I remember ever seeing
Me
of like this
too.
whole deep fake bring back, not just bring back to
Mhm.
life, but making someone younger again. That was
That was the
in
first one that people were really like
yeah.
talking about.
Because then
Because
we
it looked
got
good.
Paul Walker, I believe, like a year later because he passed, and then and then obviously at the end of that movie we got a young Carrie Fisher too
Mhm.
in Rogue One, and then everything that kind of followed. So and oh yeah, you're right, Jane. Tron too. Tron did it with
Oh
Jeff
yeah.
Bridges. So that was one of the first ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's
The Carrie Fisher stuff in Tross too was like she very unfortunately passed away before they could
yeah.
finish filming her
Mhm.
stuff for that movie, and she was gonna play a pretty big part in that film. So I get why they had to do. I mean, they didn't have any other choice
No, they
but to do
didn't.
that for that movie. And yeah, they had Billy Lord, and she got to play her mom but younger when they had the scene
So
of the two of
cool.
them
That was really
sparring
cool.
and practicing with the lightsabers. That was really neat to see. But I'm pretty sure since then Billy Lord's been like that's it.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
it.
reason to have more of her, really.
There
Like
really isn't.
they gave
Yeah.
her they gave her a good, appropriate send off.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason to have Leia in anything else at this point, unless
Especially-
obviously it's like a book. But
Well,
like,
I was gonna say animation. too.
Animation you can do.
books. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's no purpose that I can think of her them needing to use live action Princess Leia.
no.
Yeah. A lot of people have talked about Filoni's New Republic movie. Like, are the big main characters going to show up in that?
You mean the
Because
heir
like,
to the Empire type thing?
yeah, the his New
okay.
Republic movie. And like I'm just like, they don't have to be there.
I don't
No.
think so.
This
Why
isn't
can't
about
Ahsoka
them
do it?
anymore, you know?
No. I don't want to hear about them anymore, to be perfectly honest. Like, give
Ahsoka
me
can handle it
new
on her own.
characters,
Yeah.
new stories.
And that's part of the argument too. Like this feels like a major crutch of us just keeping going back to the same characters and actors in their prime instead of moving on and like telling new stories and bringing in new people.
And that's the funny thing about Star Wars is everyone's like, oh, we don't want any more Luke Skywalker and the like that stuff. And then when you dare like, here's heir to the Empire, they're like, well, you have to have them in there. And it's like, well,
No, you don't.
no, you don't. And you just said that we didn't need it 5 seconds ago. So you need to and just deal with it. Like, there needs to be other Star Wars stories outside of the Skywalkers. Like, Ahsoka and Ezra and all of those badass people can handle this on their own. We don't need them in it.
And Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be the bookend to the Skywalker saga. Like those characters are always going to keep popping up here and there as long as we're in their timeline. But that was it. That was the end of the Skywalker saga. We can
Rey gets to carry their name as an homage to the Skywalkers, but we are done with their story.
We're on to bigger and better sagas now.
Yes.
Yeah, they even killed off Ben Solo, and he was like the literal last blood.
Literally, they're done.
Yeah. And he ain't coming back the way Adam Driver said stuff the other day.
No.
So, yeah, no, I'm for me, it's all about the number one thing is if the person's dead, you need their permission from an estate or family.
I wouldn't even go to a state even, because sometimes the estate is headed by people who aren't even related to.
100%. I just don't know what legal steps you would need to take. That's why I say both. Personally, I think you should do family, but I don't know if there's a legality to it. So that's why I say estate.
Well, there's also the instance of Bruce Willis, who has
That's so
already, like, years ago, he gave permission for like AI technology to use his likeness and his voice and stuff. Like, he agreed to that years ago, but now, you know, the technology is almost completely different and seamless. And now his family is like, well, maybe not anymore, but they don't know how to approach that because he's already given that permission.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't James Earl Jones give his like voice permission? Essentially,
No clue.
He might have, but I mean, I'm not sure because I know they have used AI with his voice to create other Vader lines, but I'm not sure.
But it's definitely going to be something, especially with the actors strike and the writers strike. I feel like it's definitely going to be something in maybe even like a SAG contract. Like, you have to fill out, yes, I am okay with XYZ using my likeness.
Okay, everyone's saying yes.
Jane
for
says
Darth Vader.
yes for Darth Vader.
Late September last year, the article is James Earl Jones signs over rights to voice of Darth Vader to be replaced by AI.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like something like that. I kind of understand.
Oh, this was in 2022, actually, not even last year. Sorry.
Yeah, like
Well, he himself gave permission, so
yeah, like that is a whole different thing. And
his voice already sounds kind of, I mean, it's from the helmet, so it's already like the classic Vader voice with the voice module stuff over it.
Distorted anyway.
And to be completely honest, someone like Darth Vader, in my opinion, is not so much needed versus like a Han or Luke or Leia, just because like he's so, you can do so much more, I almost feel like, with him. Plus he's got a robot voice that's going to be so much more harder to like have to do. So I don't, that it's weird. Like that one, I'm like, yeah, okay, but like if I start hearing like Harrison Ford's voice randomly mushed together, I'd be like,
yeah,
this is weird.
Well,
Vader,
go ahead, Molly.
I was just gonna say, Vader is the kind of character that, you know, that they might continue to sprinkle him in here and there, but there's never going to be a Darth Vader series, a Darth Vader movie like that. They're just not going to do that at this point. So I think it's okay for them to have the rights to use the original voice, to be able to just like pop him in when needed.
I mean, sometimes they literally just use it for like a flashback of like a whisper or something, and it's like, okay, well,
or a video game, or you know,
yeah, something. That's a very good point. It's like how they make so much money off these video games and stuff, and it's like if all of a sudden you hear like the classic voice, and then all of a sudden it's like you're gonna be like, something's not right here. Like, so yeah, I get that. The de-aging, I have zero problem with it if the person's alive.
Me too.
I just get like, I don't think it looks good enough still. Like, it looks great.
They're still working out the kinks.
It doesn't. Well, one, it doesn't need to be a full movie.
No.
And two, I forgot my 2 point.
Although I will say I didn't mind Samuel L. Jackson's in Captain Marvel. I think it looked pretty good.
And I thought, personally, the stuff in Dial of Destiny looked pretty decent as well.
Oh my god, I thought it looked
great. I didn't have a problem with it, but it goes back to the James Earl Jones thing. I think you have to do something with the voice when you're using older actors in younger roles, because you could tell it was older Harrison Ford in a younger body. Your voice, it adjusts over time. It changes.
Oh yeah, look at Mark Hamill's voice now compared to what it was.
And we had the same. We didn't have the same issue, but we had the same comments when James Earl Jones voiced Vader in Rogue One. It just sounded a little different. That's because these actors are getting older.
Well,
So-
yeah, James Earl Jones is like 90.
Yeah,
He
so
just turned 93, I think, yesterday.
Good
I
for
don't-
him.
I
2
don't
days
have an
ago.
issue with the de-aging. I think it looks pretty good as long as it's not for just because it's an example, something like The Irishman where they use it the entire film. If it's
Yeah.
like Dial of Destiny or any other movie that does it for a flashback, or Rogue One where they just had Leia pop in at the very end. I like stuff like that because it fits the story. But
They didn't have a de-aged Harrison Ford for Solo.
yeah,
Mhm.
And it was
yeah,
great.
they recasted. Like, why
Yeah.
can't you just recast these roles?
Make Solo 2 happen.
Yes.
There's plenty of instances where you could just recast the roles.
Mhm.
Well-
And Alden Ehrenreich was phenomenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
100%.
So good.
Jake, how was
Even
Fair?
Harrison Ford like gave him
Yeah.
thumbs
A
up
stamp
approval.
of approval. Mhm.
Speaking of, how was Fair Play? Good?
Fair Play is shocking.
Oh, okay.
That ending, I my jaw was on the floor,
Oh, I need to watch that
like
then.
on the floor at that ending.
Good.
Yeah,
Um,
it turns real quick.
I like it. Also, Kevin Manning in the chat made a very good point. Like, this is a perfect example of, like, you can do other things.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So there's that one scene in Ahsoka where C-3PO shows up on behalf of Leia. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a genius move.
Yeah. And
Genius.
it makes sense for her to send 3PO.
Exactly.
Like, it's in character. Yeah.
That is like a perfect example of you can still provide fan service without having to always rely on an actor that's passed away or someone that you think has to be there, because number one, we didn't need a live action Leia in that moment,
Mhm.
but they wanted to still get that across by showing another character who was just as important, and it still made you feel like if she was there, because you got like the, oh, he's here because of Leia. Like, it's just, yeah,
It felt like she was there without her being there.
exactly.
Mhm.
It's smart, and I think people appreciate like the cleverness of it too. Like, it's not
Yeah.
just cameo. Look it. It's like, oh, okay.
And when you-
couldn't-
When you
Yeah.
think about that scene particularly and like what 3PO was doing there, basically covering
Mhm.
Hera's ass,
Yeah.
it's even funnier to think about Leia being like, "All right, 3PO, go take care of this real quick. Go lie for me,
Yeah.
and we'll take care of this."
I've got other things. You'll be fine.
It's just smart. It's just and that goes to show like the people like making them too. It's like, okay, well, the easy route is this one,
Hmm.
but it might not be the most respectful. So let's just do this. And it's great. It's like you said, it made the scene even that much funnier because it's like, oh dear God.
How crazy would it
it
have been if it was like Jar Jar Binks or someone though?
Oh my, I would have died.
I'm still
He's still working for that family.
I'm still waiting for that
I
Jar
mean,
Jar cameo.
Ahmed
to be-
Possible.
Best is still around.
I mean,
still doing
let's
Star
be
Wars.
honest. The second that they dropped that they're doing a what if for Star Wars, if I don't get a Darth Jar Jar, I swear to God.
They're
They're
not gonna
not
do
ever
that.
going to do
They're
it.
not
Darth
going
Vader.
to.
What if he actually was
They're
the
not.
worst person?
First of all, I don't know how I feel about a what if Star Wars. Second of all, they're not ever going to do a what if Darth Jar Jar. All right. Well, before we continue the conversation on, we got a super chat.
Did you
I
say
don't
on?
like-
Did you say on to turn it on, or was
My-
that just
my
coincidence?
light-
He's got
my
to do the
light is
motion
lit.
sensor.
My light is like going
We'll
out.
all
I don't
do
know
it so
what's
he doesn't
happening.
feel bad.
Hello.
Hey,
I don't know
Here, look, I'll
what's
turn my
happening.
light off too. Wait, no, come back on. Wait,
Look,
no.
it's like blinking at me. I don't know what the hell's happening. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with it. We did get a super chat, Mr. Gio Ramos. Thank you so much, Gio.
Hi, Gio.
I was
Yeah.
surprised to see a short story narrated by Hollywood legend Jimmy Stewart, who passed away in 1997, on the Calm app. Family approved usage of AI tech.
I heard about this,
I didn't
too.
hear
but
this
I didn't
at
know
all.
what it was for. I didn't realize it was for the Calm app.
That's
That's
interesting.
so weird. Of
That's
all
an odd.
things.
Yeah.
I bet you will see a lot more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could totally see like a Mr. Rogers' voice on
And like
something
that, and also that like Cameo app that you can get like messages from celebrities. I bet you they
Mhm.
start using that.
Oh god, I didn't think
that
about
would
that.
be
I bet you they
I,
start using it there.
I don't like that.
I don't like
Yeah.
that either because
Like someone could get a message from Elvis right now, probably.
Mm.
this thing that's you just go to Vegas.
Yeah, just go to Vegas and go to the little white wedding chapel. You can get married by Elvis.
That's also what scares me in the thought process of like making them being able to say anything like that.
Well, that's what I was saying at the beginning, is that people can make a world leader say something dangerous or, and it could.
Nicolas Cage and Christopher Reeves, none of them spoke, right? It was just, okay. That's what I'm trying to remember. I wiped that movie from
The
my
dialogue
mind.
in that movie was bad as it is anyway.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, I just don't. That makes me nervous, especially like Cameo and stuff.
It's a dangerous, slippery slope. And that's why, they fought for so long during the strikes about all the AI stuff.
Oh.
Bye,
Brian.
I bet you hit the back button.
Did he hit the back button?
He exited on something.
Yeah, I just like the de-aging thing. I think it's okay when used in small bits, but bringing back someone from the dead or just bringing someone into something like the Cameo app who is still around just to make money off of their likeness is just it's pretty despicable. I'm not a fan, and I think it's only going to get worse, unfortunately.
Yeah,
100%.
It's pretty. I mean, I definitely think it's okay in moments, if it's like a small flashback scene or whatever, but I just feel like they're headed down a path that makes me think that they're going to start using it in kind of like the Sam Jackson Captain Marvel way, the Robert De Niro Irishman way, where these people are de-aged the entire time or remade for animation to be in these films when they've passed on. It's very scary. I know that they fought for a long time over it last year, and I hope that it goes in the direction it's supposed to. But
this is, I do want to quickly bring up John Booze's comment. So when will AI bots scour out our socials and create evil digital us's? It's funny. There have been times where Alex will upload an old video, like something he recorded last year, 2 years ago, whatever. And his voice sounds a little bit different just because the cadence of our voices change over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed the past like 2 or 3 times that's happened, people in the comments are like, oh, he used AI to make this.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. People think he used AI to make a video because he sounds different. And I'm like...
But that would take so much more time than just reading a thing.
I don't know. Like, technically, someone could use AI. You've got all of Alex's face, voice, all of his content that exists on YouTube, mine too. And, someone could make an AI video of the two of us talking.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a telephone scam, and I told my mom to not answer phone numbers that she doesn't know, because I read that there's a telephone scam where if you go hello, they will take your voice and AI generate it to call like different things and use your voice to like call your grandmother and be like, I'm in jail, come bail me out, send me money. So like it's wild what people can do from just
So you're saying I should start answering the phone like hi-ho,
or just don't answer the phone if you don't know what number is calling you. If it's important, they'll leave you a voicemail. Is my mantra. But yes, no.
Scary. So it is pretty scary to think about that. Like anyone who has a presence online, any of us, like it could happen to literally anyone.
It's scary.
Officially in the Terminator movie.
It reminds me of, and I don't think this will ever happen, but there's a Prime Video show called Upload.
I don't know. I literally just saw an advertisement for this today.
So it's actually a really fun show, but the whole premise is that heaven turns into an AI digital upload.
Oh my God.
and you upload your consciousness into an AI world where you can still communicate with the real world, and your family has to pay for you to be there, essentially.
Mm.
Oh my god!
And it's actually, but it's like a really funny show. It's really good, but it's also dark in the sense that people upload themselves even if they're young and not dying because they want to live this lavish lifestyle
Yeah.
that they can afford.
Kind of like Black Mirror, that one
Yeah,
episode.
it's super interesting, but it's a really good show if you want to check
I
it out.
wouldn't be
But
surprised if that's something that they can actually do
wild.
in the
It's wild.
somewhat near future.
yeah, like your consciousness basically goes onto a hard drive. It's
We
wild.
just get like digital avatars.
It's gonna be like
that live on
Arnhem-
forever.
Well, there's
Can
people.
I pick my digital
No,
avatar though?
there's
Can I make myself
people-
like look super cool?
There's people that are working in like a business building who are basically your handler looking over you, and they build your avatar out.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
Wild.
it's like in Europe they have the ABBA concerts.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh yeah,
The whole.
but they signed off on that though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying we're at that point where
Yeah.
you can go see a concert of people that aren't even.
Mhm.
Right.
Performing
The,
in
music
a scary
artists
world.
can continue to make so much money long after they're dead.
Yeah.
It is a scary, scary world, and
Which is-
hopefully,
Happening right now with George Carlin too. Like he's coming out
Yep.
with a new comedy thing.
That
Yeah.
yeah, people were pissed. It was like offensive, I think, wasn't it? Like people were saying like they already did.
Yeah. Well, and like his daughter came out and spoke against it. She was like, I don't approve of this.
No.
So
Yikes.
What's the Terminator company?
Skynet.
Skynet. Yep.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We are in Skynet.
I can't think about the
we're
Terminator and
past
not sing that.
Skynet. I think there's
Well,
Yeah.
did you see Apple just did like,
that's our Skynet. That's
Yeah, I know.
100% our Skynet.
yeah.
We there's every household in America, every household in the world, not the world, but every household in America owns at least one Apple product in some capacity.
Not
AirPods,
me.
watch, computer,
Or anything
you have
that uses Alexa too. Like anything that has voice command
We don't have Alexa either.
that has your
well,
whole
someone
voice.
in your apartment building, Jill.
I'm sure someone in my apartment building does. Yeah.
Well,
But not this household.
well, I'm saying within the next 5 years, Ready Player One is going to be 100%
Mm.
like a real
Yeah.
thing. I mean, next month there is Apple's the
virtual goggles.
Yeah. comes out, and then I just read today at work, they already are like halfway through like inventing like the movable like platform for that.
I saw that
For the
the Disney Imagineer invented
Yeah.
it.
So it's like, holy crap, that's literally Ready Player One. Like at some point, we're literally just gonna be living in.
I'm gonna win that fucking
An
prize.
Oasis.
I'll tell you that. I'm winning those keys.
we're driving our cars backwards and racing.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna face
Great.
off on King Kong and crush his ass.
Yeah. So, which I
Hey,
mean,
that's one future that I wouldn't mind. I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't mind being in the Oasis. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
actually
the
sounds-
Oasis.
same.
That sounds
It'd be-
pretty dope.
It would be pretty fun.
I wouldn't mind an uprising where it was a battle of all the famous nostalgia characters of our lifestyle. I wouldn't mind that.
What are we mad about?
Ready Player One is the like exception of like.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't mind that. Although I don't need to live in the dystopian world where we're stacked. On top
No,
of
I
each
don't
other.
need to live in the dystopian world, but I would like to have an avatar
4x4
that can-
trailers.
that
Yeah.
looks cool and flies
I
around.
would-
Double-wide trailers.
I would prefer the glasses and the being inside over the trailers.
That's one of the things though, like about all this, how far AI tech has come. It's been used for tons of really good things,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
we can't have one without the other. Like
for
inevitably
sure.
it will get used to
For
take
sure.
over people's jobs and make
Yep.
its own art and
And that's the worst part is people's jobs are going to be taken away from this.
yeah.
Oh,
Whether it's
100%.
whether it's a someone on a big time film writing a script, or whether it's someone in a classroom like Brian teaching kids, like that. From the biggest things to the smallest things. Well, Brian, you'll be out of a job, so.
Well, I mean, teachers are already leaving
yeah.
in droves.
Where
I know
it's-
that. I'm just saying in general.
I mean, I meant it more like, am I really teaching right now? I'm literally teaching my own demise.
I mean, I think about
I'm
that with
teaching
just
them
my job
coding.
too.
Like
With my job, because my job is all spreadsheets.
literally
and-
teaching them coding and stuff like this to eventually put me out of a job.
Well, I'm sure AI and deep fake and de-aging will come back up at some point because we watch film, we watch television. At some point, we're going to get a movie or TV show that has it.
We probably already have one on the book.
Probably.
That we
More than likely. But for now, that's going to wrap up the conversation tonight. We're going to go ahead and do some quick plugs before we wrap it up. Again, we are on every other week for the weekly show. That is Mondays, every other Monday at 6 o'clock Pacific. But of course, you can join us on Patreon. We did our first episode of POV Watches, which dropped last week. The Q&A goes public next week for anybody who's not a Patreon member. And we'll do some quick social media plugs and we'll get out of here. Jill, start us off. Where can everyone find you online?
I am Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's on Twitter and Instagram. And we also did just film the latest episode of Rookies and Rulebooks, which we are now pre-recording. So I believe Sean just finished editing that today. So that should hopefully be up sometime this week, if not
Nice.
this week. Yeah.
Brian?
Be Volcino on everything. Crap, I was just going to say something that we do, and now I can't remember it.
Can't tell you.
Woo!
I don't know. It was something.
POV Watches, reactions.
Well, I could say Percy Jackson's got 2 more episodes, so
there you go.
Those.
Hi, Peppers.
Oh, I thought that was one of you guys going woo.
Woo!
I didn't realize it was the dog. So yeah, Percy Jackson, and no one's talking to me about it, so it's making me think people aren't liking it. So
use the Discord, everybody.
That's what I was going to promote. Get in the Discord. Discord is legit fun now. Like, even though like I'm not
patrons, you hear that? It wasn't fun before.
Yeah, no. Well, because there was times where it got quiet, and then like, but now there's just so many people that it's just like constant like conversations, and I love seeing it, even if I'm not like contributing to it. Like, I like seeing people.
Link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Molly?
At Molly Damon on Twitter, Molly Mander on Instagram. Check out Star Wars Explain for Star Wars things. We're doing our Lego stream on Wednesday this week because we've got tickets to go see RRR again on Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So
the movie?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god, because you haven't watched it enough.
I know.
RRR
Right?
Explain.
It's coming back into one of our theaters, and so of course Alex got more tickets, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm ready to see it again.
I'm debating whether or not to see Godzilla -1 in black and white or color.
Ooh, I think black and white would
Okay,
be
now let's
more
go.
fun because it was a good movie.
You can find POV everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, certain POV crew. Of course, that Patreon, doing a lot of fun things over there. We're ramping up next month with a lot of stuff is coming back. And then the Discord, like Brian mentioned, the conversation has been very, very good over the last couple of weeks since we opened it up to the public. Myself at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's. Someone else took it before I did. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can follow me all over the place. I don't do much stuff, but I do a little bit, and you can check it out over there. Again, we'll be live not next Monday, but the Monday after. And then you can find us everywhere for all of our other stuff. So thank you guys again. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.